Hello everyone, welcome back to Modern Homesteading with Tessa. I'm Tessa, and this is the channel where I show you how to feed yourself, which is kind of important these days. So today I'm going to give you guys a tour of my pantry. So these shelves are new as of last year. My amazing father-in-law built all of these for me, and so I'll talk about those. But I'm just going to show you what I have put up here, and hopefully this rooster does not interrupt too much. All right, let's get after it. These shelves are earthquake proof. We have a lot of earthquakes here, and so he put these slats on the front, so they just come off if I need to like clean or put things away or whatever. They're removable, and then that way if there's a big earthquake, my canned stuff is not gonna all end up on the floor. So let's start up here and just work our way across, I guess. And I will also put cards for the videos for things that I have made videos on how to do up here, and probably also in the description below. So, all right, so here's a garlic braid from last year. I'll put a card to the video I made on how to braid floral garlic braids like this. And then I'll also put a link to the video on how I grew all of this garlic. But you don't have to braid it with flowers in it. You can also just braid it like regular. And these I sold at the farmer's market last year. And so that's why there's a tag on it. But it's a great size to bring in the house, and then you have, you know, you just hang it on your wall and it's pretty and eat it. Then up here, this is salsa that we canned with some friends. So every year we go up to their place and can like over 100 jars of salsa. I don't even know what the total was, but so this is just a regular spicy tomato salsa. And then this is a smoked tomatillo salsa, and the reason it's red is because we put so many peppers in there that it turns it red. But we take the tomatillos and smoke them in the smokehouse, and so it has a really good smoky flavor to it. That's so good. Next is my smoked cowboy candy, and so this, again, take your peppers. I do have a video on this as well. So smoke your peppers in the smokehouse or whatever smoker you've got, and then proceed with your regular cowboy candy. This is amazing. We eat it mostly on crackers with like either cream cheese or some fresh feta cheese. And then we use the brine. I'll add it, like if I'm cooking meat in the crock pot or something like that, I'll add the brine to that, or marinate meat in it, or marinate jerky in it, or whatever. The brine's really good too. Also, when I made it, you always end up with extra brine, so I go ahead and can that as well. And then when we make a big batch of jerky or something, I'll use that for that. Next is hot sauce. So I have a video on how I made this hot sauce, and I can it in jars, and then as we need it, I'll fill hot sauce bottles. I'll open up a jar and fill the hot sauce bottles with that. So this is from Cyclone Peppers. This is the hot sauce I made in that video. Next, I just have some pickled red carrots. And these are actually from 2021, but they're still good. Some just smoked whole pickled jalapenos. Down here I have some canned sauerkraut. I don't have a video on doing this, but it's pretty easy. And then I also have some lemon dill pickle relish. And this is our favorite thing to mix with tuna. And so this is a really great way to preserve lemon cucumbers, because lemon cucumbers are always going to get mushy if you try to make regular pickles out of them. But with relish, it doesn't matter if they're mushy. So lemon cucumbers, onions, fresh dill, and add some lemon juice to your pickle brine. Oh my goodness. All right, next we'll go over here. Up here I have bread and butter pickles. So both the regular turmeric bread and butter pickles. And then these have horseradish in them, and these are absolutely delicious. So I do have a video on how to do those here. Next is just some regular pickled jalapenos. And so we will use these mostly on tacos, like slice them up and put them on tacos. But then the brine also, again, makes a great marinade for meat. This is canned coleslaw, and I never got around to making a video of how to do this last year. I just got so busy. But this is great, just straight out of the jar. We don't usually add mayonnaise to it. We just put a big heap of it on our dinner plate. And it has red cabbage and carrots, and it's in like a pickled, sweet pickled marinade, or sweet pickling brine. I will definitely make a point to make a video on how to do this because it is fantastic. Next we have just dill pickles. So there's some with spicy dill pickles, we call them hot dogs, and then some just regular, you know, dill pickles. And this last year I discovered a new method of canning pickles that is a total game changer. These are super, super, super crunchy and absolutely fantastic flavor. But what I did is I found a new processing method called low temperature pasteurization for pickles, and it is an approved method, so it's not, you know, an open kettle method or anything like that, because if you boil pickles for 10 minutes like most recipes call for, they will be mushy, and people get really frustrated with how they put all this effort into canning pickles and then they're mushy. So the method that I found is called low temperature pasteurization. I will make a video on this. And basically you process your pickles for 30 minutes at only 180 degrees. So it's using time instead of heat, and that leaves your pickles crunchy and not over processed and over boiled and mushy. So low temperature pasteurization. I will do a video on that as soon as there's cucumbers, because it's March right now. No cucumbers. Then down here we have some pickled padron peppers. So these are very similar to pepperoncinis. Next is pickled beets. Pickled beets are also fantastic. I also have a video on this that I'll link. Up here I have lard that I render from our pigs that we raise. And I also have tallow from our cows. Animal fats are actually very, very healthy for you, especially if they're raised outside on pasture. And I will put a link to my lard video here. And fun fact, lard is the second highest food source of vitamin D if it's from pigs who live outside in sunshine. Yeah, so second only to cod liver oil, which lard tastes way better than cod liver oil. So definitely if you're processing pigs, definitely ask for all of your fat back. Then back here I have some soup base. This is just chicken mirepoix. So it is just onions and celery, canned in chicken broth. Then this is mostly broth all through here. So here's some smoked beef bone broth, and I also have smoked chicken bone broth and smoked elk bone broth. Oh, and I also have smoked, we call it buck broth, but venison broth. So I do have videos on the smoked buck broth. I'll put that here. And then I also have a video on the smoked elk bone broth. I have the footage for the smoked chicken bone broth. I just have not put it together into a video. I don't know why. And then, but I do the beef and the chicken basically the same exact way as I do the venison and elk. So if you watch those videos, you'll get an idea of what to do. I get asked a lot how we use our broth. We'll use it to, instead of cooking your rice in water, cook it in bone broth. Add it obviously to soups and stews and chilies. If you're doing a crock pot meal with meat, dump a jar of that in there with your meat. Cook beans in it. I always can it with no salt in it so that I can cook beans in it. Yeah, infinite uses for the broth. We use it a lot. The chicken bone broth, I use all of the frames after I part chickens out. So I'll go through and... Kevin, hold on, we gotta go address Kevin. He's causing mayhem. Kevin, no! Kevin! That is not for you. No, thank you. No, 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 thank you. No. Go in. Nope, Kevin. Kevin! Go in. Gross. Naughty goat. Anyway, where was I? Chicken bone broth. So I'll go through all the chickens and pull off, you know, the breasts and the legs and wings and all that. And so you're left with just basically the back and rib cage. And I'll smoke those in the smokehouse and then make your bone broth that way. So good. All right, moving on over. Up here we have pickled carrots. Not pickled, just pressure canned, regular carrots. And I learned a valuable lesson last year. I thought it would look good if I mixed purple carrots and orange carrots together. Color theory. Turns out it just makes brown carrots. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but they still taste really good. But they look a lot better when it's just orange carrots. So, valuable lesson. And then just a few jars of just regular pressure canned beets. And then corn, I do have a video on harvesting and canning corn with my amazing brother and sister-in-law and nephew. And then green beans. This is just regular canned green beans. These green beans had a tablet of zinc added to them when I canned them. So you add just a little bit of, or it's like a 25 milligram tablet of zinc, and it keeps them really, really green. So if you're into that, you can do that, and zinc is good for you too, so that's good. Grant definitely prefers these just because it's more familiar. And so these are pretty though. I like these too. So we do them either way, whatever. Down here I have shallots that I grew last year, and then some butternut squash. I did not grow this because my squash didn't do well last year, but I did buy it from a local farm, a friend farmer. A giant garlic braid, onion strings, and onions here too. And these onions are called Cabernet, and these have been my favorite storage onion. They hold up, and we prefer red onions anyway, but they have stored the best of the onions that I grew last year. Moving on down here. Up here I have canned pinto beans, and I always have dry beans, but I love having these on hand because it's a super easy, fast way to just add some protein to something. If you're making tacos, warm up some beans. If you're making a soup, throw some beans in there. They're already cooked, so it's a really major convenience meal. You can throw together a chili super fast if you just have regular canned pinto beans on the shelf. And over here is canned crab. So we did really well on Dungeness crab, not last year but the year prior. So we caught enough that we were able to can a bunch of it, and I have a video on how to can this here. And here I have a video, a catch and cook Dungeness crab video, if you want to watch that. Continuing with the seafood theme, this is some tuna. So it's albacore, and our friend is a commercial fisherman, so we just buy it from him when it's tuna season. If you've never had home canned tuna, you're missing out. It is so much better than anything you can buy in the store. You will never go back to the cat food that they sell in the store after you've had home canned tuna. It's phenomenal. All right, and moving on down, we have applesauce, and so I have a video on how I do my applesauce that makes it super easy, super hands-off. it's not a lot of hands-on time. And then down here I just have some olive oil. That's a local guy, gets olives from not too far south. I think it's probably like 6 hours away is where he gets the olives, but then he presses the olives here locally, and it's all like, it's good stuff. So local olive oil. And then on the bottom shelves I store all of my empty jars here and here. And then over here I store all of my bulk, so like flour, rice, sugar, beans, all that kind of stuff is down there. And then in the freezers we have beef, pork, chicken, goat, wild turkey, and like some venison and elk and stuff like that. Oh, and I also have some potatoes. Here's the potatoes. Anyway, all right, you guys, that's it for today. Like this video if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more homestead stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.